Anyway, so years later, I had another great opportunity in global marketing to come to the Chicago area, and that's what brought us here. And we picked a house in a town that had a similar demographics to where we had been in the Boston area. We really didn't know much more about the town other than that. We found out, though, once we were here for a while, that it was very affluent, like a level of affluence where the stay-at-home moms had stay-at-home moms. Like, they still had nannies and au pairs, which apparently is not a French pastry. So we got to a point with two working parents that we had to get my second grader, maybe he was in third grade, he had to go to an after-school language program at 4 and on Wednesdays. And my daughter had been doing it on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and she just walked. It was 10 minutes from the elementary school. And it was his first day, and I was like, don't forget, you have to walk. Your parents are both working. So I went at 6 o'clock to pick him up, and the director said, oh, he was marked absent. I'm like, what do you mean he was marked absent? Why didn't you call me? He was like, oh, we only call the parents if they've missed more than 2 days in a row. I was like, what is this, like missing persons? They got to be missing 24 hours before they notify anybody. So I went tearing out of there. I drove home, and thankfully that's where he was, a popsicle stick on the floor, and his hand in a box of crackers, and he's watching Nickelodeon, which typically we didn't allow in our house. And I thought, my God, this is like the equivalent of a grown man in his underwear sitting at the couch drinking a beer watching the game. I was like, why didn't you go to their after-school program? He said, I decided I had enough school for today. Oh. I was like, okay, now, how am I going to do this? So I called the director, and he gave me all the names of the moms who had kids in the elementary school and in the after-school program, and none of them even called me back. Now, this is before caller ID. One mom happened to answer the phone when I called, and I said, well, can I get into a carpool? It turned out that all the carpools were set in Europe. I was like, wow, we moved here in first grade, so there's no way I can get into a carpool. So I said, I just need to get him there at 4 o'clock on Wednesdays. I can pick your kids up at 6, whatever else you need. She said, why do you work? I thought she was throwing up into the phone. So I figured I was not going to get help there. It turned out my brilliant husband found a solution through the bus company, but I was not going to tell those women that. I don't know why the stay-at-home moms and the working moms have this. I have plenty of friends who are stay-at-home moms who helped me with things like taking my daughter bra shopping when I was traveling in China. Thank God it takes a village.